Okay, my guest today is Tom Perez, Gracie Barra. Thank you so much for coming and coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. So most people wouldn't know this, but I've been trying to get you on the show for a while. And I see you're a little nervous, huh?
A little bit.
No, you're going to do fine, man.
Okay, thank you.
So, interesting thing. I didn't know you were friends with my bud Miguel.
Yes.
Over at, he's at Untamed Jiu Jitsu in West Covina, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you guys know each other?
So I knew his wife from high school. She's actually my daughter's godmother.
I thought so.
Yes.
And
so
that's your daughter Amelia, right?
a daughter, Millie, yes.
Is that your only kid?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you guys met in high school, is that what you said?
Met in high school our freshman year. Been friends ever since.
Oh, that's cool, man. And so you met Miguel through her?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And so you asked her to be your baby's goddaughter, huh?
Yes. Because it's my best friend, so what better than ask my best friend to be my daughter's godmother?
Yeah, super cool. So you've known Miguel for a while then, since they've known each other then?
June 2010.
Oh, you guys know?
Yeah.
You guys are buds. So you guys are probably rolled together.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy, isn't he?
Really tough guy. He's got me prepared for a couple tournaments. We've just rolled just because. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. I was rolling with him the other day, man. He was kicking the crap out of me.
Yeah, when he was a purple belt, he should have been a brown belt for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. And, I think, I wonder if a lot of that had to do with the fact that he coaches. So there was a couple months a while back where I was coaching at his school in Tamed, and he was a purple belt. But I noticed that he was teaching classes, and I thought to myself, man, well, that's going to help him out a lot. Just teaching the classes. I don't know what it is about teaching. It just kind of gives you that extra, when it comes to, having a solid game, because it forces you to think.
It definitely does. I actually started coaching the 6 a.m. classes in Chino. So I did it this morning, but it definitely makes you break it down step by step to explain to someone who's very new at jiu-jitsu versus someone who's very experienced.
You get nervous with that too?
No, actually, I'm actually pretty good at that.
Oh, cool. I still get nervous.
I mean, it's only when I'm coaching the kids' classes because I see all eyes on me. When it's my team that I'm teaching, it's a little easier. But when you have parents out there with their phones, like recording you, it's like, uh-oh. Oh,
that's tough. I haven't actually dealt with that because anytime I never thought about that if parents were recording. Because the last time I coached kids was with my coach at Tillis MMA, and that was years ago as a purple belt.
Okay.
And, he would give me all the kids that didn't really listen too well, and he'd get all the kids that were really good listeners, and I'd basically spend all my time lassoing in the little kids because they just start crawling away and stuff. But how do you like teaching the kids?
I just coach the kids right now. I'm getting ready to start teaching eventually soon, but I like to work with the kids who are a little more challenged in a sense. Like they're brand new. They're trying to understand the lingo, the movements. So that's where I get my most joy from is, okay, here's little Johnny. He's brand new. He doesn't understand what's going on. So let's try to build the foundation.
Yeah.
Because it's not about he's the best jiu-jitsu student, but I want to make him understand so he can become the best jiu-jitsu student.
How many kids are you working with?
So it depends. We start at 3 years old. There could be a class of 2 or a class of 10.
And you said at 3 years old?
Yes.
Ooh, that's pretty young.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun. I love playing with the 3-year-olds.
And I'm sure you have your daughter in there.
I had her at a couple classes. She's not ready yet. She still gets mat fright. She'll run on the mat and then see me, daddy, hug me. I'm like, okay. So I bought mats for home, so we play at home. On my Instagram, you can see a little bit of her foot locking and doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu moves to Snoopy or Mickey Mouse, whatever we have, just for her fun size.
What kind of locks did you say?
Foot locks, wrist locks.
You're teaching your 3-year-old foot locks?
I mean, yeah.
Hey, so that's interesting because, all right, so I wanted to ask you about that actually. Okay. Because I saw in one of your photos that you have leg locker or something like that.
Leg lock and tacos.
Yeah. And I love that because I teach leg locks.
Okay.
But I teach at a UFC, and I was recently visiting another UFC where the coach was talking about at the end of the practice, we lined up. I took his class and we lined up, and he said, you basically was saying, I don't want you guys doing leg locks. You guys want to put the cart before the horse. And I was like looking down like this because I noticed that there was 2 people that have taken my classes before, and where I was teaching leg locks, and I was like, oh man, I hope they don't rat me out. And so there's a lot of people out there that are against teaching whites, blues, maybe even purple belts, any type of leg locks, or even really introducing them to it, out of the fear of that they'll just focus on the bottom half of the body and just kind of throw out fundamentals out the door. What's your view on it?
So I really didn't start learning leg locks until purple belt. But my first thing was, let me learn how to defend them. So I spent classes just learning how to defend them. I didn't want to attack because I'd rather be able to escape than attack. I think everyone should learn how to escape a movement before learning it.
Okay, that's interesting. And so how do you teach that without technical? I mean, do you have to basically show them the leg lock?
So we set the movement up like I did it the other day. Oops. I was like, okay, we're going to learn how to boot out of a foot lock. So I had them sit there. I wrapped their foot. I'm like, okay, now boot forward.
Yeah.
And then hop over the foot and then stand up or move forward. So that's kind of what we did. We were going like 20%. Didn't want to like lock on the foot lock because then they wouldn't know what to do and they'd panic.
Yeah.
Did get the questions, oh, do I roll out of it or do I do this? No, boot.
Boot. Yeah.
At least that's the one I know. I know there's others, but I just bread and butter, simple, keep it basic.
Yeah, that's very basic for a straight foot lock, ankle lock. Yeah, absolutely. Put that boot on. I like that. I like your philosophy because I think that a lot of times without exposure to the bottom half of the body, it could be a detriment. It could be a bad thing. But I do understand both sides. It's like focus on fundamentals. And at the school I go to, the MMA school, Tillis MMA, where I go, it's all fundamentals. A lot of the stuff that that we learn there is just the basics, which I like because everybody there has a solid foundation. And then it's not that you won't see people doing leg locks or that you won't see any fancy stuff. Sometimes I wonder where they're getting it from, but probably a lot like me, where you just saw it, you saw it online and then you drilled it with a buddy or something. But I definitely think that people should get exposure to the leg locks and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Don't get me wrong. I like my fundamentals, my foundations. That's number one. That's key. Foot locks are just fun, but I mean, I wouldn't focus 100% on them. I'd focus on the foundation.
Yeah. When I do leg locks is usually when I'm having trouble.
Right.
I'm just like, oh man, this blue belt is just kicking my ass. I've even had to do it to Miguel a few times because he's just beating me up. He's just beating me up, so I'll go like inverted on him or something. And then we have some other guys that are really good wrestlers, even though they're white belts. They have like wrestling backgrounds. And I'm thinking of this one guy we have at my gym. I think his name's William or something. And he's a white belt, but he's our wrestling coach.
Oh wow!
And he's good. I mean, he's got that wrestling foundation, and he's strong as nails. And there was a couple of times he just gave me so much trouble. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to go nasty on him, right? just get him with a toe hold or something like that. And I love leg locks. I mean, leg locks are, like you said, they're fun. They're super fun. Now, you got your little girl Amelia in the practices with you. I one of the things that drew me to you and wanting to hear about your story is that it looks like you're a single dad.
Yes.
That I could see how involved you are with your kid. Where does that come from? Did you have a relationship like that with your parents, or?
My parents were always really close to me. They were always around, involved. So that's one of the values and foundations I wanted to instill on my daughter. Be there for her no matter what. Even if I used to travel for work, so I'd come home from a trip, I'd find the energy to make sure I would play with her, read to her, do something, just to always be that parent that's there. Hands-on, 100%.
Absolutely. Who's with her when you were traveling? Or?
Her mom was.
Oh, okay. So you're co-parenting with her mom?
Yes, we recently split up last September.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
How long were you guys dating?
I'm going to say 4 years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what are some of the things that you like to do with your kid? I notice you guys do a lot at Knott's Berry Farm.
We were doing a lot of Knott's Berry Farm, and then we recently got Disneyland passes. So we've been pretty much going to the Mouse every other week. We're actually going tomorrow for my birthday.
Oh, yeah? Tomorrow's your birthday?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's cool. How old are you going to be?
37.
Ooh, man.
I'm catching up there.
You are. You're getting up there with me, bro. Actually, it's going to take you a while to catch up, man. I'm going to be 46 soon.
Really?
Yeah, I'm an old timer.
Couldn't even tell, man.
Thanks, man. It's really nice of you to say, but I tell you, man, my body is starting to break down over on those mats.
Oh.
It feels like a young man's game these days. You know, I started jiu-jitsu when I was 38 years old.
Okay, wow.
And I got good fast, and I still had a lot of energy at that time. And by the time I hit purple, or by the time I hit about 40, 41 years old, that's when things started to just kind of like, oh, what's that? What's that?
Man.
Arthritis? It's like, you know, you ever have trouble with your, how long you been doing jiu-jitsu?
So the journey's been about 10 years. I did take 3 years off because I tore my MCL.
Oh.
De La Riva, hate it.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I did that back in 2017. Took some time off. It was life, fear. I kind of had PTSD when I got back on the mats a year later.
What come?
What was that?
Why so?
Just because I got on the mats, and then the first day I go back, we're doing De La Riva. So I'm like, this is a sign from God. Okay, not ready yet. So it took a couple of years off. Went back during COVID of all times. I saw a lot of gyms that were still open during the pandemic. I'm like, now's the time. Of all times,
Did you train during the pandemic?
August of 2020 is when I started jiu-jitsu again.
Oh, okay.
So went full throttle in, and haven't stopped. Well, 3 months when my daughter was first born, just safety reasons. But then after that, it's just I try to train 4 to 5 to 6, 7 times a week.
Are you still doing that now?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So are you preparing for a match?
I'm on the fence about that. I kind of messed my knee up 3 months ago.
Wow.
Same knee.
Same knee, huh?
I got it checked out. It's not a tear, but I'm debating. I mean, I'm thinking it's probably meniscus. I'm not sure. I don't want to go back and check.
Yeah.
I'm so close to black, so it's like, I'll wait till it falls off.
Yeah. I have that problem too. I tend to train with injuries. You know, a long time ago, I tore my knee because I have like this open guard that I like to do where I put my knee shield kind of like this.
Yes.
And my partner's weight is on me, and it'll just pop my knee. And that's happened to me like 6 times, man. You know, it happens all the time because I like this guard, and I don't recommend it because that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to pop your knee. It's basically like, sitting in Indian style, as they say.
Okay.
And, you got your knee and your leg like this. Bam. Anyway, that position from the bottom will pop your knee. And the first time I did it took me out for like six weeks.
Oh.
And I was just like, dude, this is way too long. Like, and then I developed this mental attitude where, you know what, unless it's absolutely necessary, I'm not going to take time off for an injury. I'm just going to learn to train without that body part. You know, I've broken fingers, and I'll just train with one hand.
Right.
One hand, that broken hand on my belt, just train like this. And that's how I see it. It's like if I take time off for every single injury that I get, I'll never get time on the mat or enough time on the mat. And then it also makes you think, all right, well, maybe I just need to kind of slow it down. Because if you're like me, and I think you are, is you got this competitive nature where I don't like to lose, and I don't like to go slow. And I've had my coach tell me, you're a spaz, dude. You're a spaz. And I don't think he means like, oh, you're a spaz, like you're kicking your feet. I just think he means like, dude, what are you getting out of like, leg locking white belts and, like.
The memes.
Yeah, one of those meme dudes. And, but that's the thing. So me personally, I'm trying to, work it out where I'm not trying. I mean, we're both you're a 2-stripe brown belt still.
Yes.
So am I. And so I'm right there, I guess, as well. And I'm trying to think, okay, I don't want to wait till I'm a black belt to understand that I don't have to win every single match, and that I'm in it for the long haul. And there's so much to learn by taking more risk. there's a lot of times where I've played it safe, just staying heavy and just not letting my partner get up and just, controlling in that way, where I could move with my partner, let my partner get to his knees and transition with him. Just be more willing to take risks. You take a lot of risks when you train and stuff?
When I started coaching, I did, because if I'm coaching, I wanted to slow it down, slow the pace down, see what I can work out of and work with. So I kind of did lose that competitive nature against my training partners, because we're all there to learn jiu-jitsu and have fun. So if I lose, I tap out, big deal. It's not an IBJJF competition. Yeah. I'm not getting a medal. They're not going to go back and say, oh, I just tapped out a brown belt. It's, hey, he was working with me. I know you gave it to me. No, you legitimately got it half the time. But I mean, we're building confidence here. We don't know what everyone's going through at home. Sometimes just them getting that position means a lot. They could take it back and, progress from that.
Yeah. And I wish more people did that during like tournaments.
Oh,
because I see that a lot in tournaments, and I've spoken about this before. Sometimes when the matches are more fun to watch when people are taking risks out there and like doing things they've never done. And I think that you can tell, it shows on the mat when you're competing that you're not taking enough risks in the gym. Because I think we tend to perform the way we train. And so, yeah, I just think it's so much better for myself personally, especially at this level, is just to start having some fun with it,
Exactly. We're not just trying to survive. Now we're out there having fun, putting everything together, trying to take the risks. You never know what's out there. Sometimes it's just a chess match.
Yeah.
They give you this, you take it.
I love that. And that's how that's how I like to play my game, actually, is I'm always looking and waiting for mistakes. Because your partners they're going to make them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I won't sit there and just, all right, I'm just going to wait. But a lot of people ask me, like, how did you do that? And it's just like, well, I really didn't do anything. You kind of just gave it to me.
Right.
You were staying heavy and you're doing fine. But then you lifted your body up to get that, maybe put your 4 fingers in my lapel where, had you had a stronger back and core, you would have been able to just get in there without giving me so much space, things like that. But I definitely think there's so much to this game that people don't realize. And there's so many lessons involved with jiu-jitsu in life. You had said some things, and this is what I wanted to ask you. You have a few quotes, and one of them you said a few times, and at first I was like, you had said it, and I was like, what does he mean by it? So you have one that it says, finish the story. Yeah, what does that mean to you?
So I took it kind of from WWE wrestling. There's a superstar who actually would say I have to finish the story. So my story involves starting something, kind of drifting away from it due to life, injury, but then coming back to it and not stopping no matter what. So I've trained with injury. I've had this hand messed up, this shoulder, this knee, my rib, whatever. You just power through it. So no matter what, you finish your story. So my story is earn the black belt and then begin the new story of giving back to the kids, get to my training partners, to my family, just to show them no matter what life throws at you, as long as you stay focused, you stay determined, and you're disciplined, you'll achieve anything you set your mind to.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. Leave no unfinished business, in other words.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. You have another one. Fight, finish, faith. So obviously I understand fight, and you just explained finish to me. Tell me about your faith.
So the faith I have is a faith in God, that if I believe God will take care of me, then I have nothing to worry about. I actually kind of borrowed that from Dak Prescott. I'm a Cowboy fan.
Yep. Yeah, I noticed that. You got the jerseys.
Got the jerseys.
You and Amelia got your twin jerseys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, having faith's important. I mean, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Some people have their beliefs and opinions, and, nothing against that. It's just as long as you believe in your higher faith, higher power, having that faith will help guide you to where you need to be.
How did you come to that?
I grew up as a Catholic and Christian. So Christian school from kindergarten, 8th grade, Catholic high school. So it kind of was just raised into it and realized like I did live a lot without God. So I've been trying to pray more, have more faith in everything that I try to do on my own because I can't. Without God, I'm falling flat on my face, which has happened a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely fallen on my face and lived a life outside of thinking about God, and I know for me, when I live my life like that, things are just they're out of control. You know, I'm not making good decisions, and I kind of need that higher power looking over me, so that I don't fall too far off the rails, because I can definitely go there.
Definitely.
Yeah. But you seem to have quite a lot of self-control and yourself put together. Tell me about your professional life.
So I work as a sales manager for a company called Nordgear. We manufacture mechanical gearboxes and motors. So they power like conveyor systems, elevators, food processing equipment. I got into this industry in 2013. 2011. I was working at Disneyland as a security guard while I was in grad school trying to write professional papers, but I was a security guard and nothing against it, but I had no content to write. So it was all based off of theory. So I was looking for somewhere I can start a career with. Found a newspaper ad when they actually had newspaper ads, applied, and then started in this industry. And then since then, just worked my way to regional manager, national manager, and now I'm a district sales manager because I wanted to take time away from traveling as much as I did so I can spend more time with Amelia.
So how big is this company?
It's fairly big.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and so as a manager, you're managing the people like in the workers inside the that are actually manufacturing this, or
No, just a territory. So sales managers, like district sales manager. Yes.
Yeah.
So Inland Empire and Riverside County, San Diego County, and Riverside, San Diego, and San Bernardino.
Oh, okay, so it's so you get to stay local now, basically.
Yes.
But
Yes.
before you're doing a lot of traveling.
Before it was the whole Western region, so
Okay.
8 Western states.
So did you take like take like a demotion to do that, to take over just the small part, or did you just put in the request and they said?
It was a brand new. So I came to a different company. So I left my previous company to come to this company. So it wasn't necessarily a demotion. It was more working for the bigger fish than being the big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were working for the same company, traveling, doing a lot of traveling, and then coming over here. And obviously you did that because you have a new child and
Yes,
you're trying to be an involved dad.
definitely. Because the first couple of years I was gone every 2 to 3 weeks, but then I would make that time up when I was home and just devote all my time to her.
Now, did you wrestle in high school?
I didn't. I just played football.
Football. You said you went to a private school?
Bishop Amont.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool. I went to St. John Bosco.
Okay.
Yeah. You play football there. That's a D1 school.
Yes.
Yeah. How'd you guys do?
During our time, we weren't the greatest. We were, that's when Bishop Amont was kind of on the down end. Okay. I really didn't make a big impact on the team. I wish I would have spent more time focusing on football than girls.
Yes.
So like the coaches say, stop chasing tail, then you'll actually do something here. So, I mean, that's kind of where the discipline comes from too. As a teenager, I wasn't disciplined. I was just all over the place. And then as soon as I hit 19, I turned my life around and just became disciplined.
Yeah. I had that problem too. I think a lot of young guys have that problem. I could tell you I probably spent the majority of my life, wasting my time like that. And man, I wish I could take like my own son and a lot of other, my son is doing fine, but I wish I could take a lot of young guys and just be like, dude, there's so much more to life than that.
Correct.
And so much time wasted. When a mom or a dad says, hey, don't waste your time on that girl, they're a distraction. It's like 100%. It's true. I had a kid young at 16 messing around. Part of the problem why I dropped out of Bosco. And you know, when you're having a child at 16, you know, that's literally a kid having a kid.
Definitely.
And man, the damage that comes with, I mean, it's not to say that a life, you know, isn't in, you know, I mean, obviously the life has value. All life has value. But it's just to say that a child should, you know, have like I don't know. I mean, you know, I guess coming from an ideal home doesn't necessarily mean 100% your life's going to go A-okay. But I think that, you know, kids would be better off being born to somebody's at least got a job and, you know, has something going for them. Because at 16 years old, you're still in school. You don't know shit.
Definitely.
And so, but it seems that you're in a good position. You say you're 35?
36.
36.
37 tomorrow.
37 tomorrow. Yeah. And you had a kid at 34 then?
33. Oh, 33. And then I turned 34. But I waited a long time. Like every girl I met, I was like, I'm not having a kid until I have a house and a stable career.
Yeah.
Because my parents had me young. They had me at 18 and 20. So I knew the struggle just from what they told me. So that's why I was always trying to play it safe. Like, hey, look, this is what we have to. So that was the first story. Get the house, have the career, then the baby.
Yeah. Okay. And so you planned it that way. Did you guys get married?
We never got married.
Okay.
So my daughter was like a COVID baby. You know, we're all locked down and
yeah.
I was teaching her jiu-jitsu, I guess.
Yeah, I saw that. You got mats at home.
Yes.
Yeah. And I try to do that with my kids, man, but my son got a blue belt and he just could never get past that. He did an adult bracket as a blue belt.
Okay.
And won first place.
Oh.
And but after that, I guess he just kind of felt like, yeah. And he ended up joining the Navy, so he doesn't get any training. And then my daughter, she goes once in a while, but she just doesn't like it. And I mean, she's been around it since she was born. But I had that attitude that, I'm just going to let her, you know, I think I screwed up. I think this is where you and I probably differ. I had the attitude, I don't want to pressure her to do it. I'm going to let her just kind of come into it. And I'm suspecting that you just said, no, you're doing it.
I try to. It's just her mom doesn't push her. So it's kind of where the disorganization lies. Like I want her to do it, but her mom's like, oh, she doesn't have to do it. So I am kind of going to let her make her decision, but at the same time, persuade her to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, you want to go play jiu-jitsu? Let's go do jumping jacks. Let's go do push-ups. Let's do rolls.
Yeah, like little progressions. Huh?
Yeah, like little things, like little baby steps to get her to drink the water.
Yeah.
Or the Kool-Aid.
Cartwheels. Every kid loves doing cartwheels.
Exactly.
They don't even know it's jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. And then she's, you know, playing with her Snoopy, wrestling. Even with my brother, he's 25, he's a blue belt. I tell her, okay, go choke, and then she'll do a guillotine on him.
That's cute. So you got a brother who's doing jiu-jitsu?
Yes.
25. So he's a little younger than you.
Yes, we're 12 years apart. He has a one-stripe blue belt. He came back after a 7-year hiatus. So part of the reason I started was because me and him were really close growing up. Like I know we had their age disadvantages. However, I used to coach his football team. So then I took a job where I left to Georgia for a year. And then when I came back, he was a completely different kid because he went to high school and I was just here like, okay, what are we going to bond over? My dad signed him up for jiu-jitsu. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll sign up because I want to get close to my brother again.
Wait, so your brother was doing it first?
Yes. For a day.
For a day. He got one day on you.
Yeah, one day on me.
Okay, so now did that work? Did you guys, are you guys still training together? And
So we trained together until he stopped, got his blue belt, did the typical statistic. Oh, I got my blue belt, I'm fine.
The blue black blues.
Yep. And then I kept going until I tore my knee and then I stopped. And then he saw that I got back into it in 2020 for the past 3.5 years, just grinding. And then he's like, well, I want to try a class. So I took him in January and he signed up.
Well, that's cool.
So he's not as consistent as I would like, but I mean, I'm on a different mental capacity than he is. He's still in school trying to finish his bachelor's degree. So I'm like, okay, fine. Once you're done with your bachelor's, I expect you to train 4 or 5 days a week. You're only 25. You have the mentality and you have the physical ability to do that. Don't let this 36-year-old man beat you.
Yeah, gonna be 37.
Right.
So let me ask you, man. I'm interested in your opinion on this. Because I think that a lot of young men, you know, and I could throw myself in this bucket too, lack the physical and mental discipline, you know, I believe strongly that there's just a lot of dudes out there that are just, I call them wasters, because I call myself, I was a waster for 25 years, you know, just wasting time. What is it that, or how do you, or what can someone do to gain mental toughness, if you have an opinion on it? Like, how do you keep yourself focused and moving forward in a positive direction?
Set short-term goals. So like when I was 19, I was kind of overweight. So I decided one day, I kind of got made fun of by my dad. He's like, wow, you're getting pretty chubby. So I woke up the next day and I went to the gym, and then it just became 30, 60, 90, 30 days. I was doing it. Okay, good. 60 days, it started to become a habit. 90 days, it became a lifestyle. So I've been going to the gym at least 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes 7, minus COVID, because we couldn't work out pretty much at a gym, since I was 19 years old. So just always have to go no matter what. Even if I'm tired, I don't feel like going, I'll still go.
So that's discipline you're talking about.
Yes, discipline. So discipline will help someone become mentally stronger, just because you know what you're supposed to do, even though you don't want to do it.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that I listen to a lot, and that I think about a lot is there's so many times, like every day, that I don't feel like going to the gym, you know, or you know, I don't feel like, you know, going to work, or I don't feel like doing this or doing that, or hanging out with the kids because I'm tired. And I would have to like pump myself up because, you know, I'm never, you know, I rarely ever feel like doing those things, but I try to think, you know, okay, it's about doing those things even though you don't want to do those things, or you don't feel up to doing those things.
Correct.
And then that's where the discipline comes in, and perhaps even the reward, because I think that there's a certain type of feeling that I get anyway from doing the hard work or doing something that's difficult that I don't want to do, but I end up doing it anyway. Like, how many times have you ever been to Jiu Jitsu where you didn't want to go that day, but then you get there and after class you're like, man, I'm glad I came.
Whenever we're doing De La Riva.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, it's De La Riva week. Okay, fine. And then I just go through it. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to not do because of what I did last time. So I'm actually comfortable with it now.
Yeah. Oh, good.
But yeah, there's been days where I've been sore, tired, not feeling it, but you get there, you go through it. You're like, okay, I'm alive again.
Yeah. You have like a favorite move from the De La Riva? I usually like to transition into a Berimbolo or something like that.
I don't have a favorite move. I just survive on De La Riva.
Yeah. Right on.
If I could, I would just pull him back into guard and work from open guard or something, just not De La Riva.
Yeah. So
PTSD is still there.
I understand. Was it painful?
It was painful. It popped. I was in Arizona training I was on a work trip. So then I had to hobble back to my rental car, hobble back to my hotel, go to emergency. They did a x-ray. They couldn't do any MRI. So they just said, oh, nothing's broken. Go to see a orthopedic specialist. So had to go through the airport getting wheeled through like an old person. Had to go through TSA, hopping around because they don't let the wheelchairs go through the x-ray. And then had to get wheeled onto the airplane. So it's me and a bunch of other geriatric people getting wheeled on. And I'm just sitting there like, wow.
They have a geriatric section of an airplane?
I mean, it's usually the front.
I didn't know that. But it wasn't like front first class, right?
No. This was a Southwest plane. So, I mean, it's just basic. Like you're in the front and, you know.
Sitting in your wheelchair the whole time? No,
they put you in a chair. So you have to hop onto a chair, but then they have to come retrieve you with a wheelchair.
Yeah. Oh, man, that must have sucked.
It did, but I mean, it taught me resilience. It's like, okay, what was the worst that happened? Nothing. I went through pain. I got back. I was able to walk again within a few months. So,
were you visiting a gym that you'd been to before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I noticed you travel a lot, and or I noticed that you have a lot of schools that you visit.
Yes.
Like in some of your posts, you have, you know, Gracie Barra, Chino, Riverside, San Diego, and a Southgate. So you like train at all these different Gracie Barras?
Yeah. So when I would travel for work, I'd always pack my gi and go train at the one I was local with. So recently was Southland in Dallas. That was in February. actually in 2 weeks, I'll be training at Gracie Barra, Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like my mission. Like, okay, I want to train at as many locations as I can while I'm out there traveling.
You're still doing that?
Yes. So next, like in 2 weeks, I'll be at Gracie Barra, Charlotte.
Charlotte. Oh, that's cool. You ever been there before?
No.
Oh, do you know anybody there?
I don't. I just reached out on Instagram and said, hi, I'm Tom. I just want to see if I can come train with you guys next on this day because I'll be out here for work. Sure, bring your gi. Have fun.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's a pretty good organization to belong to.
Gracie Barra?
Yes.
I actually started with Gracie Barra. There's one here in Whittier.
Okay.
Right down the street. And shout out to Phil out there. He was a blue belt when my first day. And he's a little dude and very unassuming. And I remember my first day, and of course I was 250 pounds at the time. And I didn't think, oh, I should handle this guy, but I thought to myself, okay, we should have a good little roll here. No.
Right.
That dude mopped the floor with me, man. Like I was so in awe of what had happened to me that I was like, oh man, I got to keep doing this. You know,
right.
I can't let this go, you know? And, but we had a black belt, Pedro Rodriguez. He was from Portugal and he ended up leaving. And the school just didn't have a lot of people. And they only had 2 days a week that I could train there.
Okay.
And so the school I go to now, of course I fell off because I couldn't get off the cigarettes and, you know, drinking and all that. But like a year later, I ended up going to the school where I'm at now. And that was like, I don't know, 8 years ago. And it was a lot cheaper. And they had like a lot of people. And you could take any class you wanted. So they had Monday through Saturday in the mornings and night classes every day. And then no gi and gi, and you could, I don't know, it was fun. It was cheaper, so I ended up staying there and never went to Gracie Barra again. But I do know a couple guys from that school still, like Phil and Andrew. There's a couple other guys there. Real cool group. And it was what it was. But I definitely started off there.
Yeah, I've never trained at the ones in LA County. I've never made my way over to Orange County or LA County, which is weird because I live here. Like, I live close, but I just never made an effort to. I got Chino right there, so.
Or you like staying out there? Well, I know there's a lot of schools out that way.
There are.
They got some 10th Planet, Chino Hills. You ever gone out there?
I haven't gone to 10th Planet. I don't want to get hill hooked.
Yeah. It'll happen.
No offense,
dude.
10th Planet.
Yeah, it'll happen, dude. It'll definitely happen. Because I go and I there's this other school too called Dog Pound. And they do a lot of no-key stuff and a lot of heel hooks and stuff. And shout out to my boy Adam Ekiwa. I've gone over there a couple of times just to do an open man. Like right away, just heel hooks me. I'm like, because I'm not used to seeing it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to leg locks, but we always stay away from the heel hook.
Yes.
Just because it's dangerous.
Dangerous. Yeah.
And it's like it's not gonna end your life, but you could end your story.
Definitely. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, who the heck wants to never do jiu-jitsu again?
Right.
I mean, one too much torque or spinning the wrong way or something, forget it. So I stay away from all that stuff. You said you went to grad school. Yes. Where'd you go to grad school at?
University of Laverne.
Oh, okay. All right. And what'd you get over there?
So I got my master's in organizational development.
What the heck is that?
So it focused on human resources management and leadership and management skills. Okay. So pretty much management of people. So eventually when I move up in my career, I want to be a manager of people.
Okay. Is that what you're doing now?
Getting there. I just manage sales, but eventually there is a director role where I would like to take over one day when my boss decides to hang it up.
Yeah.
But he's still young, so there's plenty of time for me to learn under him and just become better each day.
Yeah. You have any plans to have your own business one day, or is your plan to advance in your current occupation?
I mean, I'd love to own my own jiu-jitsu gym. That's in the works, like just trying to come up with a plan. But I mean, still need to put more time in, understand the process more, how to coach, how to teach, how to manage business. Yeah,
it's a lot. I too been trying to find my way with that. And it's difficult too because my school's in my city where I live. And I don't really feel like, traveling too far just to open a school. But man, I've been trying to get in at different places. But I'm always asking my, coach, hey, is this far enough? It's like a little further. And, I understand that because, the Whittier's not that big of a town. I mean, it is a big city, but it's not crazy big where we already got so many jiu-jitsu schools around here. And right now I teach at the City of Industry. You'll probably pass that on your way home.
Okay.
It's right up where the mall is over the hill here.
Yes.
Off the 60. And right now, all I have is a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. class.
Oh, nice. The good time.
The good time, yeah.
I try to get people to come to 6 a.m. Oh, you're crazy. I'm like, I'm just normal.
Well, it could happen. Yeah, you are. It could happen because at our school, we have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m. class. And that's ran by Phil. And he's a brown belt. And he built that.
Nice.
There was no 6 a.m. class. And I remember I didn't start going when he first started doing it, but I would see. Because I went a few times, there would just be like 5, 6 people. And now there's like, I don't know, 20 like solid people that are there on a regular basis, And so have you had any trouble building the 6 a.m. class or?
So I just took over a couple weeks ago for the 6 a.m. on Tuesdays.
So it was already there?
It was already there, yes.
Okay.
So we've had it now for, I want to say, a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
How many people you guys get?
It depends. At one point when we first started, I was the only one with the professor, so it was like free privates, which was nice. That's where I learned leg lock defense.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wait, so it's just you two at 6?
For a while, yes. And then there would get people that would come and go. But now we have a pretty solid team of like 5 that always come.
Are you guys doing any marketing for that or?
Just word of mouth. We have our schedule online. So word of mouth, if anyone comes in, hey, what time do you train? Oh, I train at 6 a.m. on Tuesdays, but I'm here all the other days and times. Okay. Well, you should come check it out. Come take my class. Maybe you'll like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about a 6 a.m. class that I like is that you get it out of the way. You hit it, it's done, and then it's only 7:30 in the morning, and you've already put in some work for that day.
Exactly.
That's what I love about the 6 a.m. What I don't like about the 6 a.m. is that there's not a lot of normal people like you and I.
Right.
Get up early. It's a lot of people. I'm not gonna say people are lazy, but most people, for whatever reason, they're just not doing that at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, they're rolling out or rolling over, snoozing.
Yeah. Do you hit the snooze button?
I can't, no, because I learned with my daughter. When she'd wake up, I'd have to get up, especially when she was an infant. Crying, okay, I got to get up.
Yeah.
She needs her bottle. She needs a change. So now with the alarm, it vibrates on my wrist, and I just get up.
On your phone there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I actually don't. I don't even need the alarm anymore.
That's good.
Well, probably not because at my age, I get up to use the bathroom a lot in the middle of the night. So, like, shit, man, it's 3 in the morning. I might as well just stay up, go for a run.
That was me this morning. I was up early. I'm like, okay, I could go back to sleep, wake up at 5 and go to the gym, or I'll just go to the gym now. So I was up hitting legs at 3:30 in the morning and just getting ready for the day.
Yeah, I like that because what I've been thinking a lot about is being intelligent in the sense that, like, we're always being confronted with a decision. I could sit here and do nothing. I could go back to sleep, like you said. I could snooze, go back to sleep. But but I'm trying to figure out, like, how could I have control over my mind so that way I don't make poor choices or bad decisions that end up having like a ripple effect for the rest of my day. I mean, because there's nothing worse than, like, if I planned on going to the 6 a.m., for example, and I decide to just snooze and not go, that will, like, set the tone for the rest of the day. And, like, we don't have a whole lot of time. I was thinking about this morning. I was like, man, there's only so much time that we have. Like, imagine losing your car keys.
Yep.
And it takes you 25 minutes to find your car keys. Like, you just lost 25 minutes of your life looking for car keys. And I don't think, like, we think about that enough or that way. Like, how much time we dick off. like just lose time. Because it's finite. Like, you're only going to get so much. Like like yourself, for example, I'm sure you've had this thought in your mind, like I could like when I get home from my trip, I could go take that nap and spend an hour napping, or I could give Amelia that hour of that quality time that she needs.
Exactly.
Right. And I can't tell you how many times that I wish that I had not made the mistake of, taking the nap when I know my kid wants to play or something like that. And it was tough. It's been tough for me because, as you get older, you don't want to play kids games, but they need you.
Oh man, I've been playing Barbie the past couple of months.
I hope you're Ken.
Yeah, I just play whatever she gives me. Here, Daddy, you play with this one. So it's because it's Disney. It's been the Belle, the Cinderella. So I'm like, okay. How do I put this dress on this doll?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm figuring it out.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's we don't. Growing up, it didn't occur to me like how important that time is with a kid, because it wasn't. I didn't figure that out until maybe my son was like 6 years old. He's 21 now, and his birthday was yesterday.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
June.
He's in a submarine right now.
Okay.
So anyway, it wasn't until he was 6 that when I picked him up from childcare, and I just saw his little zombie eyes, just like he's just sitting there. He must have just been sitting there for hours, with the other little kids or whatever. And then I realized, oh crap, man, like he shouldn't be here if he doesn't need to be. I probably could have picked him up an hour earlier because I'm running around doing stuff, going to the market or doing this or doing that. Like I could have saved him an hour of misery. So like after that, I started making more of an effort to like get him when I could, as early as I could, and then figuring out, okay, I got to play with them. I got to play. I got to sit there and play. I don't know what it was why that was so difficult for me, but it was. And so so being at where I'm at now, it makes me happy to know that there's people, like people like yourself and me, who are like, you're making that effort to get to the park or to play the dolls or to do whatever it is that you have to do, because that time lost, you don't get it back.
Never.
And they remember.
Of course.
They don't forget. I got one more question for you, bro.
Okay.
You say adversity introduces a man to himself. What does that mean?
So you understand who you are when you're at your lowest. So kind of like we were talking about earlier, you can either roll over and say, oh, well, I can't do it, or you get up and you keep moving. You keep fighting it. You fight your fight. Fight, finish, faith. So you have faith that you're going to be able to fight that fight and keep moving forward. And you're going to finish that fight and then move on to the next one. Because there's never going to be a day where you're not fighting for something. You're either fighting for your life, you're fighting for your career, you're fighting for your family, you're fighting for, your life, jiu-jitsu in a sense. So we're always moving forward, progressing, fighting.
Yeah. That's what I love about jiu-jitsu. It teaches you how to get out of complicated situations, how to calm down, how to not freak out, and think your way out of it.
Yes.
You got to really think, because you get guys like Miguel, who
smother you and just make you feel like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah, he's like a tank.
It's like,
and you'll have to.
Am I really at that time? Am I really a purple belt, or am I just a white belt, like a 14 stripe white belt that just dyed my belt purple for whatever reason?
Yeah. Well, I'm not hard on myself anymore.
Yeah.
When I was a blue belt, I was tapping black belts.
Nice.
And guess what? It's my turn. It hasn't really happened. It hasn't happened yet. I don't think I've ever been tapped out by a lower belt. There's this one purple belt. I give him 2 rounds every open mat. You got 2 rounds. I'm just I'm gonna give this guy 2 rounds to try to tap me. He's right there, man.
Oh wow.
He's a big boy and young. He's half my age, twice as strong. He's a purple belt, and I used to have no problem with. Well, I wouldn't say no problem, but I used to be able to deal with him when he first came to our gym as a blue belt. But man, a year and a half later,
They're getting better.
guy's a killer, man. There's nothing I could do.
But I like it though when the guys that come in and they get better and they give you your best, their best, because it just shows like you're in a good school, good gym. Everyone's learning. Everyone's getting better.
Yeah.
What the whole game's about.
It's what it's about. Absolutely. 100%. Tom Perez, man. Gracie Barra, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I hope we can get you back in the future.
Definitely. We'll do.
Fantastic, man.